Okay, we're gonna do all the way through, and I'm gonna make little subtle commentary, and then I will go through and I will dissect the very important parts. If this guy ends up shooting at you right here, you can just take a really wide turn, go hard left, and he'll miss you nearly every time. I do that for fun. Ignore that. You can look down a little bit before the button here and reduce lag. I try to warp through that door. It's really rare, but I think on that run I actually got a little bit of a warp. If you can kill that guy, do it. This is kind of the YOLO strat start. I'm going to teach you a way to get around that once this run is done. It's ridiculous how I got 157 without strafing the lock.
I can always switch weapons randomly, but when I do it, to check my ammo for the tunnel. If I had 20, I'd be happy.
You learn the experience with that alarm from playing a bunch of damn SA. My lines here are all intentional. That part was kind of sloppy. On a fast enough run, you'll see that guard with his back to you. See how hard left I go here? He can't shoot through the wall. Same thing with this retard. If you stay really far left, he won't hit you. This guy's random. I got lucky there.
Holy balls, this is the run.
Box boost you don't have to do. It saves maybe a couple of tenths.
This is really...
And then if you can get a glimpse of your health, you can adjust your line there. So if you can afford a hit, you can put yourself in position to get hit from behind. If not, just you can avoid it pretty easily too. You want to do 6 bullets at that alarm.
This is my run. This is 158 for sure.
Definitely have to do some backing up for that last alarm. Okay, so that's real time, duh. No, I will stop everything at certain points and point out why I do what I do. So this guy, I look up right there and get an idea of whether or not he's standing still like a moron, because sometimes he'll stand still until you reach him. If he starts shooting at you immediately, just cut it left. Like, start heading like this line, like this kind of angle, then to cut around him. In a perfect world, you can get his ammo, which is really nice. The more KF7 ammo you have, the easier the tunnel is, even for newbie strats. In this case, I choked it and hit him in the shoulder. I was probably 50-50 with getting his ammo, but it wasn't a deal breaker. You obviously know how to reach the button, because if I'm not mistaken, you have 53 on Agent. So right about in the middle of the door, right about here, I hit A to go forward to unarmed, and if I have a KF7, I'll have the KF7 out so I can hit unarmed. And it's really rare. I don't bank on it, but if you have a good gate and you time it right, you'll pretty much warp through here. The gate warp is real. This was a Clemens myth. I think he said it wasn't possible, but a lot of us have done it. Boom. I get through there a little bit. There's a little bit of like a warpy motion to it, if that makes sense. Like, there's definitely a little bit of like some sorcery going on there, so I'm just going to call that a warp. Anyway, right about here, this was tough for me, and you might be better at it than me. Trying to kill this guard. If you don't kill him, there's a backup strat, and I'm going to show you exactly what to do. But if you do kill him, by aiming high enough and then popping him in the back of the head like that, you do the strat where you open the gate and then pause right there. This moron back here, like who's shooting at you right now, this asshole by the tower, he's an irritating fucker, especially if he charges you. A little bit of RNG. Right now, I know he's not charging me, so I know I have a run. So I killed him. Now it's up to me to shoot the alarm. And in this case, since I have good health, I'm going to pause right as I open this gate. I think this was a 5-bullet alarm, which is fairly rare for me. Obviously, you've got 7 shots to do it. Don't worry about it if it takes you 7. Now, there's a couple of ways to do this. I do this world record strat, and I was proud of it. But what I was doing on shitty health runs was opening it, sneaking through, and closing it behind me and pausing on the other side. It's actually not that hard to do. And I encourage you to do that if you're on like a 2-0 run already, where you like 2 bars are gone. Or if you didn't kill this guy running to the alarm. If you don't kill him, if you just injure him, he's going to fuck you up. Both of those guys will. It'll probably screw up your modem throw. But if you can get around here with the door closed, you'll have just enough time to pause, get out your modem, get in position to throw it, and you won't get fucked with. They won't catch you in time. So in this case, I just decided to be a big boy and do it this way. I get super lucky with the boosts. But in your case, more than likely, if you're paused through here and you have the gate shut behind you, you won't hear anybody shooting at you, and it'll be a more peaceful leg free run. I did not see your throw, but it's not too hard to hold speed through here. Just hold up on C up and to line up the shot. I always kind of aim a little bit left, if that even makes sense. Like the monitor is going to be a little bit to the right of center, and then it'll land like every time because the modem tends to favor to the right while still holding speed. Sometimes this box will blow up here and you'll get some ammo out of it, but not always, but sometimes. Now, I make a comment as I'm on the dam saying I don't always switch my weapons randomly, but it's to check my ammo, and that's absolutely true. If I have 20 bullets right here, I will use this in the tunnel to take out that asshole box guard that a lot of people, including myself, struggle with right before the door to the mainframe. But since I only have 10, I can't quite do that.
I don't always switch weapons randomly, but when I do, it's to check my ammo for the tunnel. If I had 20, I'd be happy.
Okay, so what I do here, and let me go back. I don't expect you to remember all this, but as you do the level, you'll at least have good habits down. There's like a white manhole cover here, right here. This is my reference point. When I get to that part, I start walking straight at the door. And this is straight from Mark, who has 116 untied for almost 5 years, so that's straight from the horse's mouth. If you walk straight from like right there, you'll get to the door at a good angle to where there's hardly any lag, and you'll be able to take out the alarm at a really good rate. Okay, so when you're about to shoot that 5th shot, and this is big boy strat, and I expect you to do it if you're good at the level, when you're about to shoot that 5th shot, start walking forward. You probably can't see it, but I was definitely doing it, and it picks up a 10th here and there. So you're strafing down the tower, seem pretty good. You can hit B from pretty far away to open this gate. I was a little late. I screwed that one up, but you can definitely open it from far away and sneak through here perfectly smooth. Now, I'm going to point to you specific lines that I take, and I'll explain why. When I get around this corner here, whoop, I hug the left wall, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, the reason I do this is because this asshole right here will see you and do a shooting animation as early as he possibly can. Thus, in a perfect world, when I cut back right, he won't be able to hit me. I can injure this fucker, and then when I do emerge back into the hit zone right here where he can get me, he'll be done shooting. The guy behind him usually shoots boxes, and he can't hit you anyway. If he ducks, he can't hit you, which is awesome. So if you do that strat the way you're supposed to and take the right lines, you'll usually not get a back boost. It's when I do stupid shit like miss this first guard or take too much time, that's when I end up getting hit. You don't want to kill him here. All you want to do is injure him. I took too long to hit him. Now I'm going to point something out here. I got to take him out quicker than what I did, because one shot won't do anything. The second shot will injure him, and thus he'll stop shooting. I didn't get him quick enough. What happened is I got boosted from behind, and I got super lucky. That should have been a back boost right there. The next frame, I should be getting backed. But what happened, boom, I got boosted instead. So we'll thank the RNG gods for that one. This guy is just about done with his shooting animation because I did the line properly. See? This idiot's shooting a box. If he ducks, which is what he does 75% of the time, he can't get you. So thus I know I'm in the clear. This next guy way back here, you have to be clutch as fuck to kill him. Because when you strafe through these boxes, you have a very small window of time to get that second shot on. Remember, the first shot's not going to do nothing unless you get him in the head. The second shot is what injures him. You don't have to kill him, mind you. Just injure him. I got lucky. See, my first shot got him, and I knew I had to get one real quick. In my case, I got lucky. I got his ammo, too. And I switched forward, anticipating 10 bullets, and I was just going to take this bastard out anyway. But I noticed this, and I picked up 20. So I got pretty lucky. So even if in a perfect world you want 20, so I got lucky, but you usually generally want to use the KF7 on this guy. I hate that I got boosted there because I lost time on the box. and I lost time on the crate guard itself, so that was probably a wash. Now, some visual cues for you is if you see this guard, you're on a pretty decent run. If he's got his, like, the closer he is to you, obviously the faster your run is, more than likely you'll start getting good runs and he'll be like right at the corner. The faster you are, the better, because if he's at this corner, he sees you, and then now you got a guy shooting at you. If you shoot at him to take him out when he's out there, his buddies are going to come after you. So speed is key here. In this case, because you're fast enough, nobody else sees him dying, so you kind of get lucky. I'm sure you've seen my vid and every other decent damn 00 vid. You try to pop this guy around the corner in the leg so he doesn't fuck with you when you're hitting B on the mainframe. Now, this, I don't remember what Mark did on his 155, but I'm certain he YOLO'd the piss out of this. What we do is we'll cut really far left here because this guy's gun is behind the wall. If you're left enough, he can't hit you. You wait till his shooting animation is done, then you cut back right and continue your strafe lines as normal. See, I hear that his shots are done, so I cut back right. This guy falls into the same category. If you're far right enough, he can't get you. Sorry for the squeaky chair. At some point, I know I have to cut back across this hallway, though. And in the middle of a run, the heat of the moment, you have to have a feel for this, but you have to kind of judge when he's going to stop shooting. And I guess I got lucky with this one. Like I guess I might have used the visual reference. I might have waited till he actually got up out of his kneeling. Yeah. I actually looked. It looks like I went to the last possible second before I cut back.
All right, here's the run, guys.
Because if I had cut back any sooner, he would have back boosted me. Can you confirm you're still there, by the way? Pretty sure you are. There's a lot of people watching. Holy shit. Boss and Clemens are in here. No shit. Hey, Kazi. Okay, good. Scared me. All right. Yeah, I cut this. I freaking maximized how far left I could be. Yeah, I maxed out how far left I can be, and then I cut back, and it looks like I just got lucky. This is part of the whole basement casino thing, because these assholes can... There's some variation in their shooting length. So that when you cut back right, this part is completely blind as far as I'm concerned. Unless you use widescreen and you can see what's coming up. I just strafe this part completely blind. I don't even bother to look what the hell's coming up. I strafe here. I know there's a stack of crates coming up, and I cut back left once I'm about to hit that. This next guy is also part of the lottery. It depends. It all depends on how quick he started shooting, or if he's kneeling, you're generally screwed. But in this case, for whatever reason, he stopped shooting early. I can't explain that. Maybe Mark would know. Usually, if he's kneeling there, I always get it back, but not there.
This is the run.
Now, this is a part, I think on my 159, I actually cut back left and I took this other guard out that's like standing to left here because I was low on health. But in this case, I decided to just go for it because I call this the hit zone when you're in the middle, because guys will hit you from a mile away and they'll back boost you. But in this case, that first guard you see when you come down from upstairs, if you didn't kill him, he's still standing there. And if you're lucky, he'll give you a boost, and it'll usually get you through the hit zone here without a back. And that's when it's game on. That's when the nerves start to hit you like, holy fuck, this is a really good run. Once I got that boost, I'm like, oh my god, it's on. Like, that's not something you get very often.
Holy balls, this is the run.
Now, as for this box boost, Clemens could probably do not be in the middle. No, the middle's a bad place to be unless you YOLO it. If you watch Mark's 155, he fucking YOLOs every hallway and he gets boosted. I don't know, that's got to be the most nervy run of all time. The box boost here is not hard to do. What can happen, though, is that if you cut it too far left here to take out this box, your auto aim can sometimes lock on this guard, and that's fucked me a few times. And what you'll see often with Isa and Alex, and myself included, nobody gets away from this. If you look down too far when you take out this box, you won't get the boost at all. Thus, you wasted time taking it out, and more than likely, this fuckbag's going to back boost you anyway. So what you have to do is start kind of taking it out early. There's a fine line here between turning too early and getting auto aim on this guy, and turning early enough to the point where you can take it out like before you're too close to it and end up looking down too far. It's one of those like whatever. I've noticed if you're looking like straight down, you just never get the boost, and that just sucks. Or you could just not fuck with it at all and zigzag through here and probably not lose that much time, to be honest. I got pretty lucky there. And you generally get more of there's a lot of side launch to it, I call it. So I freaking crank right on the control stick here to get a decent line. This guy, and here's another thing I want to point out. After that box boost, this is a prime chance to check how much health you have. Obviously, I knew I could take a few more hits, so I put myself in position to get boosted here. This next hallway, you just stay to the left, because if you're low on health, you could cut to the right here, and that guard will hit the boxes, and you're generally safe. But if you can take a hit, you can kind of stay left, and he usually gets you, like 80% of the time. For whatever reason, he didn't get me. And that's actually probably a good thing, because I might have had way, way, way worse nerves, and I might have choked the run, so that's okay. But in your case, like, obviously every boost is going to help. This is, for me, surprisingly tough. It shouldn't be. I end up really, really kind of dicking it up here. You can go... Hang on, let me back up here.
This is really... I have to clutch.
Okay, so I don't have a good angle of this on this video, which sucks, but you can definitely go left here, cut back right, and then continue down the hallway. You usually won't get stuck and maybe lose a couple of tenths tops. The world record strat is to cut to the right. I do not do this cleanly, so my vid is a bad example, but the solution here is to take a hard right turn and then a hard left versus trying to like straight line it like I try to do. This is bad. Don't do what I'm about to do. Like that was pretty shitty. So hard right, hard left, or don't even fuck with that at all and just stay to the left. And if you've got enough health, maybe you'll get a really, really, really late boost out of it. So,
Luke, this is the run, buddy.
Okay, now the same physics apply to this double door here that I told you about. Once you get to the bottom of the steps after the first tower, you can open it from pretty far away and thus get a clean entry through. Obviously, the same rules apply here. The more in the middle you stay, the better, because if you're off to the sides, the doors take a little longer for that part to open, whereas if you're in the middle, you'll be able to squeeze through earlier. So bam, I try to stay as much in the middle as I can and walk straight at it sometimes, thus I can control bond. This next part, if you're not really, really, really familiar with it, this corner is what I call, this is a stretching pixel in my book. It's really easy to get stuck on this fucker. So I take kind of a wider turn. Like, I'm really exaggerating. I'm more right than I need to be. I think Mark takes this turn perfect on his 155, and Luke does on his 157 as well. Once you get to the top, Clemens, I never really thought of this before Clemens told me. It's really easy to get carried away on how many bullets you use on this alarm. You want to use 6 here, and that's it. I ended up using 9 a lot without even realizing it, and that loses a shitload of time. So try to just take your time and lining it up and just fire 6 at it and get the hell out of there. This next warp is super easy to do. I choked it a few times because I suck, but in reality, you just open this door, and as long as you can get yourself lined up in the crack, you'll warp through every single time by switching to unarmed.
Finally. Yeah, this is my run. This is 158 for sure.
The very best way to end this is to just take a hard left, try to get your height lined up before you take that left turn, and then when you open the door, wait for the freaking alarm to appear to you versus hitting like C up and trying to see it early, if that makes sense. I fucked up a lot of runs that way, so I just let it come to me. Like that. See how I don't move at all? That's fine. I mean, I saw it pretty early too. And then you fire away, and then right when like the 4th or 5th shots are about to hit it on the KF7, start backing up. Like right now, I'm going to start backing up. And at this point, I kind of just YOLO left. Blind, I thought I was going to choke this run. I thought I was way too far right. But I make the correction at like the last frame and get up the stairs, and that's the end of the run.
I thought I missed the stairs. This should be 158. It's not... Well, I didn't get that many boosts, but it should be 158.
Do you have... excuse me, that snuck out of nowhere. Do you have...
Oh my gosh!
Do you have any questions that, like, want me to talk about specific parts? Like stuff that could give you trouble?